So now we're going to go over roof cleaning. Roof cleaning is one of our most profitable services we provide, so we love to do it. Roof cleaning is important because moss and algae grows on the roof. As you can see here, we have some moss growing on the roof. We have some artillery fungus, a bit of lichen here, all sorts of different growths. And so this moss, it feeds on the limestone in the shingle, amongst other things, and it prematurely deteriorates the roof. So it's important to stay on top of the roof cleaning because it extends the roof life, and customers don't have to replace their roof as soon as they would otherwise have to if left untreated. So the way that we conduct roof cleaning is as per the Asphalt Shingle Manufacturers Association recommendation, and that's through a soft wash method. And so we never want to use pressure on roofs because that can force water under the shingles and it destroys essentially the roof even more. So the way we go about it is the following. We first scrub the larger growths with a plastic bristle brush so it doesn't disturb the roof granules very much. After we get the bulk of that growth off, we apply the soft wash solution. So in this case, I'm just going to focus on this area here. And I basically take my brush and I'm going to go along the roof line, scrubbing as so. As you see, I'm taking those bigger growths off, but I'm not too worried about smaller growths. Say like here, you see, I'm leaving this small amount because the soft wash solution is going to take care of that later. So we go along, we scrub like so, and that section would be considered clean and ready for the soft wash. So it's important to mention whenever we're on roofs, we're always going to be tied off with safety harnesses and ropes. In this case, we're tied off of the boom lift just to ensure that if anyone were to slip, we're not going to go over the edge. So after this, we're going to come over here, take our blower, and now as you can see, there's still a few small growths left like this. But these growths, after we spray the soft wash solution, are going to be killed. And with the coming weeks with rain, it's just going to break down to a powder and it's going to rinse right off. And it works on the basis that the solution changes the pH of the roof, and thus the moss doesn't like that pH and doesn't grow back for the coming years, leaving the roof clean. If we were to just scrub and try to get every piece of moss off but not spray it, it's just like, think of the moss as a fungus and you're just taking that top surface growth off, but the fungus itself is still alive and well underneath, and it's going to just grow back very quickly. When we use the soft wash solution, that kills the spores at the core, and it's not going to come back in the future years. So now that we have the roof scrubbed and blown off, as you can see, only small pieces of moss have been left. We're going to apply our algicide solution. Often the solution is sodium hypochlorite when we're cleaning asphalt roofs. If we were cleaning other types of roof like cedar shake, it might be sodium percarbonate or other chemicals, but in this case, it's sodium hypochlorite. So we've got our chem tank on the boom lift here with us, and we're using what's called an X-jet in conjunction with our pressure washer. So as mentioned, we never pressure wash up close, but we do sometimes use the pressure washer to apply the chemical from a far distance. So it's just very low pressure, but we're using that to apply the chemical, not to remove any of the growth itself. So as we see, we have our chem hose hooked up, we have our solution there, and we're going to start to spray. It takes a while for the chemical to reach to the end through the hose. So as you see at the beginning, it might just be water. And you'll notice how the solution starts to come. Now, as you can see, it's bubbling and white. And so we're just going to apply it like so. as you'll notice, the moss will start to change colors from green to an orange or white color. So here, we won't do the whole roof here for the video, just do a section. And it's very important that when doing this, that we're conscious of all sorts of vegetation and plant life on the bottom, or any sort of organic material such as wooden fences. So it's best to have someone on the ground with a hose, making sure that any plants, any fences, and everything else is wet down before and after applying. So if any overspray goes over, it's not damaging of anything. So we're just going to keep spraying here. And so as you can see now, if you compare this moss up here that hasn't been sprayed, comparable to down there that has been sprayed, you can see how all the moss down here is starting to go white. And that's how we know that it's been killed. And we know that way that it's going to fall off in the coming weeks with rain and just break down to a powder, and it's going to remain nice and clean. And in a few weeks, if we could get some good heavy rain, the roof is going to look good as new, and it's good for another few years. In this case, where there's not lots of trees, it'll be at least 5 years before the moss starts to grow back and causes any sort of issues again. So this is a great way to extend the roof life, and this would be our common technique of how we conduct roof cleaning at EnviroClean.